What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the Michael Balco Show. I'm your host, Michael Balco, straight off a COVID vaccine, but we're chilling. We're healthy. You already know the deal. Joining me today, very special guest. He's been hella patient with me the past few weeks with my busy schedule. He hails from Eastville, California, and he's a quarterback for Temple University. Rion Mitchell, how we doing today, my man?
I'm doing good. Glad to see you're doing good too.
Yes, sir. Likewise. So, first and foremost, we have to rep that area code. Tell us about your hometown and what makes it so unique.
So I'm from, 951, Southern California. Its name's Eastville, like you alluded to earlier. It initially started out as a town and became a city not too long ago, about 6 years ago or so. But I mean, when you think of Southern California, and you think of my hometown, definitely not alike. My hometown more mimics something like the Midwest, right? It was all farmland initially. Now it's more urban. There's a lot more housing building there. But it didn't start out like that. And so, I don't know. I think just being somewhere where you've seen the groundworks of a city, I feel like, it kind of means a little more to you because you've been there from the day one.
That's what's up. Yeah, that's super dope. It's really cool that it turned from a town to a city. That's kind of unique.
Yeah.
Back in high school, he balled out for St. John Bosco, 3-star recruit. So what kind of factored into your initial decision to take your talents to Iowa State?
So just growing up, you always dreamed of having the opportunity to play, Division I football, and as I got to that age where offers started, coming in, I was just, really happy that I was in that position to make a decision and to pick really where I wanted to go. As far as Iowa State, after my visit up there, I kind of just fell in love with the coaching staff there and the community there, and really the players and their work ethic there. For the most part, I wanted to go somewhere where not only could I help, turn the program around, but I would be somewhere that I was surrounded by players that wanted to get better. And instead of, going out on the weekends, they were in the facility trying to get better. So pretty much those three factors really went into my decision.
That's what's up. And you're obviously a really big name, dual threat dude. As we saw in the next question I'm about to ask. So while in high school, you were also in the limelight of a Netflix show called QB1. I'm sure pretty much everybody has seen it. I mean, I watched it and it was one of my favorite shows. You were one of my favorite, athletes to watch as well. So kind of what was that entire experience like? How did that come about? Kind of just tell us all about it. I mean, I've interviewed some Last Chance You guys. I know theirs was a little bit different. Kind of tell us about yours. Shine your light. Did it kind of help shine some light on your abilities as a quarterback as well? So just kind of take us into that whole experience.
Right. So, QB1, as a lot of people know, it features your senior year of high school football, both, athletically, academically, and social. So going into my senior season, well, first let me rewind. So I watched the first season on Go 90 when it came out during my junior year. I remember I'd be in class with my buddies and we'd be watching it. And I'm like, I might legitimately have a chance to be on the show. Kind of because, I played for the number one school in the country. We had just came off winning state, I had a lot of things going for me. And I was like, that'd be kind of cool. I didn't know if they were doing a second season, what I'm saying? It's just some documentary on Go 90 at the time. So I just thought it'd be cool if I could get a chance. And then going into the summer of my senior year, get a DM on Twitter and it's, from the QB1 producers. And they're like, would you want to do this show? And I'm like, is this real right now? So I was more than, giddy to get a chance to be on the show. But they actually kind of started, like high school football around the country kind of starts at different times. Generally, obviously, it's all in the fall. But as far as like them capturing like summer football and stuff like that, my summer football had pretty much ended. So when they came and filmed me, they were a little behind the curve. I think we were like a week before my first game type of thing. And so they kind of had to, get after it from then. But I mean, from the overall experience, it was awesome. I went to St. John Bosco, was an all-boy Catholic high school, so it's pretty much all jokes 24/7. So you can just imagine a camera crew following you around with a whole bunch of dudes just cracking jokes all the time. So I mean, everyone had a really good and fun experience with it.
Yeah, so that's kind of weird that they just like hit you up directly like a high school quarterback. They didn't like have to go through your school or anything first to make sure, or like what was the whole deal there?
Yeah, shoot. So they DN'd me. And I think, I mean, I know I had to, obviously, I give them the okay. And then obviously they had to get okays from, my head coach and stuff like that. But
So it's kind of just a more or less see if you're interested type of deal.
no, yeah, definitely. But it started with me and then they had to, go to the hierarchs to make sure it was all good.
Gotcha. All righty. So you spent a couple years at Iowa State before you decided to transfer to Temple. Was that a difficult decision, and what factored into your decision?
Yeah, it was a super hard decision. Really loved Ames, loved Iowa State, still do. It's just that, with my situation there, I just wasn't going to have enough time in a sense to showcase my ability as a quarterback, for the next level. And that's pretty much, one of the only reasons why I had to leave. But it was a very, very tough decision. But yeah, I still love Ames and Cyclones.
Yeah, for sure. So one major thing my podcast is kind of centered around is using, allowing like athletes to kind of share their stories and kind of, motivate the youth of our country, or really just anybody who listens. So with that being said, what is one piece of adversity at any point throughout your life? It could be in your football career, it could be in your personal life, that you've personally had to overcome, and how did you overcome it? And what was your mindset in doing so?
It's a really good question. I would say I'm the last 4 or 5 years of my life have all been filled with adversity. Really from a football perspective, I would say, but if you really take football seriously, football is really like your life in a sense. So I've been fortunate enough, as far as family goes, to not have any, any tragedies or anything like that. So no adversities there. But from a football perspective, I got a long list. But I think probably the biggest one that I've overcame, but that I'm still overcoming, would be that transferring from Iowa State, because it was kind of a leap of faith, because I didn't have too much film from the past 2 seasons. But with faith, I was able to go on the portal. You never know what's going to happen there, and obviously I've ended up at another Division I school, so that's a blessing. So that's probably the biggest thing. But I mean, adversity is around every corner, and it's all about how you bounce back. And that's just, waking up every day with the same mindset to get better.
Yes, sir, for sure. And with that being said, what's kind of one piece of advice you've ever been given personally that's always kind of stuck with you?
Most probably that it's not necessarily about where you are in the moment. It's about who like you will become and how that moment will define you. And in simpler terms, it's really like everyone's going through something, but who are you at the end of the day? You don't want to jeopardize, who you are and your morals for something that's in the moment. So definitely think first before you act.
Yeah, for sure. This is the hard-hitting question. I ask every athlete this question. It's by far the hardest question, easily. Who is the best athlete that you have ever played with and against? We could take it back to your Bosco days. It doesn't matter, bro. Best you played with and against. You can name a couple guys if you absolutely have to. But
right. With or against? Honestly, the against part is kind of hard just because I'm not really too good with names. Like, I've played against a lot of guys that are playing at a high level in college, and some that have just been drafted. So, I mean, it's like I'm telling you, the list is crazy. But I'm going to have to stay home with Wyatt Davis. He was the guard selected, I think it was the 3rd round to the Vikings this past draft out of Ohio State. So he's my tackle in high school. So I'll say with him. And then against, that's really hard. I know St. Thomas Aquinas, my senior year when we played them, had like 30 D1 guys, one of which was Asante Samuel, who's just coming off the top of my head right now. So I'll say him as far as being against.
Yeah, for sure. That's a loaded team, man. They're pretty close. They're pretty close to where I'm at in Pennsylvania. So They're loaded. Who is on your pregame playlist? Who you bump into to get you fired up for a game?
I feel like every year kind of varies in a sense, and I have a playlist. It's called The Jungle, which is my pregame, get ready. I kind of describe my whole journey from high school up until this point as being in the jungle, and having to survive, kill to survive type of thing, type of mindset. So within that playlist, man, I got a lot of artists, whether it's like A Boogie or Russ or G Herbo, but I mean, I like Russ a lot. A lot of people, that's like really hit or miss, but lyrically, like I really appreciate what he says. And he's definitely gotten me through some hard times.
Yeah, if you're a true like lyric rapper, Russ is up there, bro. Like Russ, like he hits different, bro, because he's got the right things to say, especially when you're gearing up to play at a Division I football game, bro. So Russ hits. So does A Boogie. Like you mentioned some good ones there. Polo G's on that list too. It's got to be
on there too, definitely.
All right. So if you were not playing football, what would you be doing?
Yeah. So I think the past 4 years, I've kind of been entertaining baseball, just kind of as like a side hobby, kind of like a stress reliever, going to the batting cages, field, and stuff like that. But I mean, a lot of people would say I kind of have a knack for the game in a sense. So if I wasn't playing football, probably would be playing baseball. And hopefully, whenever my football career ends, I'll be able to get on the diamond too.
That's what's up. What position you looking at?
Looking for an outfielder.
Okay.
I'm sure utilize my speed that way. But shortstop is entertaining. You got to be super good for that, obviously. But I mean, we'll see. I'll play wherever the coach needs me.
Yeah, you gonna try and play at Temple too, or are you just strictly focusing on football while you're there?
So Temple actually doesn't have a baseball team.
Oh wow.
Yeah, neither did Iowa State. So it's kind of like that's something. But no, I just kind of do it on my free time type of thing. But after, like I said, my football career, I'll go ahead and entertain that more.
Yeah, dope. I'm sure someone will give you a shot for sure. So who are some quarterbacks that you've watched film on that are maybe in the league, maybe it's just fellow college football quarterbacks that you've like personally studied or watched film on to try and model, your play style after? Who are you taking bits and pieces from?
Yeah, so my favorite quarterback in college, I don't think I'm sure the youth doesn't know this, that in college you get NFL cut-ups that you can watch and stuff like that. So it's really easy to study NFL guys that way. My favorite quarterback right now is Kyler Murray, who's obviously a shorter quarterback in stature like myself, but that's also dynamic with a really live arm and extremely quick. So I kind of model my game in a sense after him. But at the same time, you're your own person too. So not too much. But I think he's an elite player playing at a high level. I think the Cardinals are going to do really good this season. And so, yeah, I think just studying his game, studying his feet, how he goes about things really benefit me.
Yeah, for sure. So would you rather win a Heisman Trophy or take Temple to the Natty?
Man, I mean, we go to the Natty. Gotta go to the Natty. Got to.
Facts. If you go to the Natty, you're more than likely a Heisman finalist anyway. So
exactly. Kill two birds with one stone. But I mean, playing in the Natty would be a dream come true, and you got to be playing at a high level, like you said, to even get there in the first place. So I mean, good things will stem from that.
Yes, sir. All right. So whenever you're watching film as a quarterback, what are you looking for in terms of the defense you're playing against? Like, what are you specifically looking for?
Yeah, so going into like a game week, our coaches have already watched a good amount of film on that team before, so they give us a scouting report, things to look for. Not even that mostly. It's more like strengths and weaknesses of that defense and how we plan to exploit them. So with that in mind, when you're watching film, you're looking at the key points they highlighted and then things that maybe they didn't see or things that you can suggest the next time you see them as far as, schematically goes. But you're looking at, safety tilts, like what's their best coverage? How do they run their best coverage? What are telltale signs that these blitzes are coming? And then you're thinking, all right, well, if this blitz comes and I have this play on, what are we going to do there? So a lot of times, defenses are coordinated by offensive formation. So, we know we're in this formation and they like these 2 or 3 coverages, right? And then we know we have these plays out of these formations. And then you got to go through every single coverage and every single blitz, and how we'll combat that. And then telltale signs as far as, D line goes, like, are they odd front, even front? When they're in an even front and say that overhang is tighter into the box, all right, they might roll to a certain coverage. So those are all things you got to know going into the game. But you got a week to really get it down. And once you get to a level of like understanding defenses really well, it only goes so much as far as variance. So as long as you know what you're talking about at first, like, it'll all come naturally.
Yeah. Yep. Bro, I'm not even going to lie. That shit sounded confusing as hell. But it's all good. It's all good. That's why you're the most important position on the field. That's why.
Oh
that shit right there is why. Okay. All right, Rial, I got one more question for you, bro. What kind of advice can you give to the young athletes out there looking to be in the exact same shoes as you?
That myself, like you, are going through adversities. I'm also facing doubters, just like I'm sure a lot of you guys are facing doubters, and this is just from an athletic standpoint. And there's other aspects of your life where people will doubt you, and it's all about how you respond and your self-worth and your self-drive to overcome those obstacles. So, at the end of the day, like, if you need someone or something to fall back on, for me personally, it's my faith, and I know that Jesus Christ is my Savior, and that all things are possible through Him, and that should give you a comfort that nothing else can, and the ability to overcome obstacles or any obstacle that's in your way.
Amen to that, my boy. Ladies and gentlemen, Rial Mitchell, starting quarterback, hopefully, for Temple University. Balling out, bro. We're gonna watch your story for sure. I'm super excited to see how it unfolds for you. Go ahead and mention where everyone can follow you at on social media.
Shoot. So Instagram, I believe it's Real Mitchell 6, and then my Twitter is Real Mitchell QB. So if you guys want to go follow those, I really appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you so much for hopping on the show today, Rial. I appreciate you so much. And like I said, man, I'm super excited to watch how your journey unfolds.
No, I appreciate it. Thanks for having me on.
Yes, sir.